Hi guys. It's been a while since I made a YouTube video. Actually, I've completely disabled or deleted all of my previous videos from like almost 10 years ago, which is an insane amount of time. I thought it was time to start over. So for the last year and 10 months, my life has been really at a standstill. And I haven't really been able to progress anywhere from there because of some family stuff that was going on. So I felt like now that everything has wrapped up, has been figured out, I guess, the conclusion, I thought it was time to start over and try to reinvent myself, because I am known for my fandom work, especially with the Attack on Titans fandom, Stranger Things, and more recently Arcane. And while I love fandoms, I did feel like it was time to branch out and start my own stuff. I know I've kind of experimented here and there with some webcomic work and comic stuff in my everyday life, working on Archie comics and Ninja Turtles, but I felt like I've always been not destined, but destined to do something bigger. I've always had ideas ever since I was really little, so I felt like it was time. What that kind of implied was I'm not going to start over fresh from my Instagram or TikTok account. No way, that took forever just to build. But I'm going to veer away from fandom space more and more. You've probably noticed I haven't really posted anything since April on my Instagram, and even longer on TikTok, which is terrible. Anime actually pushed me to want to start my own series. Now, granted, if you know me, I had a series called M is for Murder. I still have it. I do plan on updating it here and there because it does have a special spot in my heart. But at the time when I was writing that story, literally maybe a week or two later, when I was doing the actual comic stuff, some really bad news hit. And this was 2 years ago, so this kind of lines up with everything that's happened so far. So I really tried to continue the story, but I was just writing it to write it. Like, I needed to have something there, as opposed to writing because I enjoyed it. It happened at such a dark point in my life that I wanted to break free from that storyline. And I did for the most part, because I did bring it back a little after Christmas this year. But again, when I was starting that project, I also lost employment insurance, so I just kind of spiraled and stopped everything. And like I said, M is for Murder has a special spot in my heart because it was the first project I ever worked on. And it did decently well on Webtoons for a while. I got recognized. It was having a lot of fun at first, and then things just kind of got a little... Well, technically what happened is that I fulfilled the requirements for ad revenue, and I tried to fill that out, and I got shadow banned. So that also played a huge part of why I dropped the series, because of Webtoons. I probably should have never posted on Webtoons, probably should have just kept it on Instagram and Patreon like I normally do. But I was naive, and I wanted to see what would happen. But yeah, it is what it is. I will eventually probably work on that if or when my news story hits it off, and maybe we'll have some time to actually work on that other projects. My kitten. She's not a kitten, sorry. I've had her since she was a kitten, so I always call her a kitten. She actually turned 3 today, September 3rd, on the same day I'm publishing my my comic. But yeah, that's she's Black Cat. She's 3, and her brother, they're not from the same litter. They're 5 years apart. He's 8. He is somewhere out there, and my roommate's a cat too. So I guess I can do a quick intro to the comic that's going to be published. Sorry, I'm touching my iPad. That's going to be published later today. I can show you guys where the story is, and where it will be posted, and kind of a little bit about it. So ignore my tabs. Yes, I am watching Resident Evil and Blood Barricade Battlefront, and if you have not watched Blockade Battlefront, I recommend it. I think I'm on my 3rd or 4th run, and I just learned that it's being reprinted, so I'm very excited, which makes sense considering it's the same guy that did Trigun, so they are reprinting, and I'm going to buy those when I have some money, whenever that will be. So this, I'm gonna zoom in a little, is my story, my comic. It's a comic, but only because it reads right from left as opposed to a manga, which is left to right. But it does, I hopefully feel like a manga-ish. It is black and white. And you know, some shadows and stuff. I'm trying to get that feel of manga, but it's really, really hard in Procreate. And I know I should use Clip Studio, but I can't figure it out for the life of me, and I just don't want to. I don't want to learn something new. I love Procreate. So we're going to stick to Procreate and just see what happens as the story progresses. Maybe one day we'll go to Clip Studio if things like pick up. So Born in Red is a thriller, action, horror, queer story. So this is kind of the synapse. Oops, I spelled Sky's name wrong. Oops, oh well. So, and those are some tags. So this is a mature read. It's, I would say 16 plus right now. Is a good age range. It's censored where it has to be censored. The profanity is censored for Tapastic and Webtoons, and anywhere else I'm posting. The only place that will not be uncensored is on my Patreon page, where I am 26 or 27 pages in. So this is what we have so far. These are all scheduled, so it's 2 updates a week, Wednesday and Fridays. Depending on how busy I get, it might have to drop down to 1. If, say, I have to, trying to think of the word. If I get busy with work and have to kind of, if my backlog gets bad, I can't even think of words, then I will have to backtrack a little. But right now we're gonna do Wednesday and Friday updates. I hope those are good days. I was gonna do Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday, but I don't know, Wednesday, Friday felt right. And again, Patreon has all of this up there already. You can read $5 a month. You get all of my exclusive stuff on there. And I have 2 separate areas. So one is the more clean stuff, while the other one is the not safe for work content. And then hopefully when I know a little bit about the tariffs, I would like to open up physical tiers again. I used to sell exclusive prints and stickers in my store, obviously, or at my Patreon. Obviously, I don't know what's going on with the tariffs, so I'm gonna wait a couple weeks just to see where that kind of goes. I think letter mail would be fine, but I would like to possibly open up charm tiers, maybe? I don't know. I'm just thinking. So yeah. So I thought it would be cool to kind of show where these characters came from, because they are a long time design, I guess, that I don't even remember how long ago actually. So I thought I'd show like their first ever drawings. Well, this might not be the first, but it's the first I could find, kind of where the start happened. Now they're mine. I'm pretty sure this was during my Black Butler phase. I had a whole ass phase going on. So these characters developed based on my interests at the time. So yeah. So this was like a comic. I don't even have the first page. It was so inspired by Black Butler. It's not even funny, guys. So this isn't them, but this is kind of like the story that it was based around. Like they were the side characters. And it's kind of more of the characters. This was them. Oops, this is them originally. That's what they looked like. I'm trying to see. There wasn't much in this book. See. She's not, her name was Victoria. She was kind of like the CL of the story, and he was just this is Jasper. This was Jasper. Like I said, he's come a long way. I'm trying to see here. I think this was Victoria and Hero. So this was a page of like all the characters. So these were the two. It was Sebastian and Connor, who these two are kind of modeled after. Then there was Brian and Victoria and Hero. And then it was Sammy and Brienne actually came back. They've come back. I've actually drawn them quite a few times in mini stories. I've got this one comic page that I keep drawing over and over again based off of them. I don't know if I have it anymore. So yeah, I don't even remember, like, I know it was like very Black Butler adjacent kind of, but don't worry, there's some other stuff. I'm trying to think, like it's literally a death sync. Oh, this was also the time that I got into Gravitation. Like, this was my first BL that I ever read, which was insane. Very mild, unless you found her private collection. If you know, you know. So obviously pink hair vampire dude. So again, this is who Sky is based after, and this is Jasper. Obviously Jasper changed it. I actually have his design, like Jasper's kind of where he developed later for his design. Yeah, them. Sky has changed a lot too. He had multiple designs for a while. They kind of always changed, but always went back to the original idea. Oh, this is all backwards, so it's really bad. So like I said, to Connor and them, then this was like, I actually don't know who he is, but this is Brian and Sammy. Or Sammy and Brienne, and then Victoria and Brian, and then Hero. So this never obviously went anywhere because there was no storyline to it. Like, look. She even had an aunt. I'm pretty sure the aunt was a killer too. And then I went through my like DC phase. Oh, and then this is when I decided it was going to be more of a slice of life. It was called Bonds at the time, and it wasn't really slice of life, sorry. It was still had like supernatural abilities. I believe like they were all in high school, and some of them, it was almost kind of like Soul Eater, but I never read Soul Eater, so I don't know why I kind of had that idea. But this is where they developed too. There was no longer like, he was no longer a vampire. He hasn't been a vampire in a long time. And then again, I got rid of Brian and gave them twins instead because I think I was going through an Orion House Club phase. Pretty sure I did. Yeah. So these are like the initial ones, and then I'm trying to think. Oh, I'm sitting on them. And then they did develop. I'm just trying to remember where they developed. Because I stopped at the Bonds, and then I was really into Phantom Space. Because shortly after that, I believe, yes, was these guys. So I stopped Phantom Space, or I stopped creating my own stuff until about 2018. I did not write the date on here. Yes, because I was in college. So this is when I like these characters who were part of the story, but they're not them. They were, I really liked her character. She might come back as a cameo. She was fun to draw with her mohawk. She was part of like a class project. Here he is. So Connor became this character with glasses, and this was supposed to be a part of the story for Book of Elijah, which was actually the son of Satan, I think, or something like that. I don't remember the whole storyline, but it's what became Book of Elijah, which I don't even know if I'll continue that right now. I think I need some more time before I can really progress with that. Yeah, and I think this is who Victoria became. So I can't believe I used to draw like this. They look so good. What the heck? What happened? Oh, yes, yeah, and so then that's who Jasper became again. Like I told you, they went through some phases, guys. I had some phases. Oh, how cute they were. I'm pretty sure I had like a really big. This one actually became like a digital piece, but I don't know where it is. So I probably archived it somewhere. Oh, that's fandom stuff. See, this is what I meant, like, it was supposed to be Book of Elijah, kind of adjacent. That's what the main story was. I probably should have just kept it that way, but I think I like where it's going now. And they had powers. I do remember that. I don't know what kind of powers they had, because it was a long time ago. So this was probably 2019, because this was Animaritime's sketches and stuff, and a lot of Marvel, because I really wanted to work in Marvel. And then shortly after that, I worked on my class assignment. So conventions. Yeah, I started back up with conventions. So again, the story changed to a more mafia style story. If I have this, I had character designs in here. Oh, yeah, it was more stuff like this, which was, I think it was called Somebody, and it was more of a found family kind of trope. Pretty sure he was still gay, but I don't remember if I gave them any names or stuff. It was just a guy, a mafia boss, that picked up a poor girl that was being mistreated by her father. But again, it never really went anywhere. I think I had stuff scripted out, but it just never went anywhere. I don't know if there's anything major in here. This was also a school sketchbook, so I know I did a lot of drafting. So like I use these characters a lot for my animation projects. Because I was developing them in the hopes that I would bring them somewhere, but they didn't go anywhere until now. Yeah, there's the start of Jasper becoming more of him. So that was it. But this is the one photo that I have that I know for sure was Jasper related. Like, this is when Jasper became Jasper. Yay! I have more stuff, but they were assignments and they're like gone into the void somewheres. So obviously he's changed a little. I reverted Sky back to his pink hair because I thought pink hair was just pretty cool. I like pink hair too. And do I have a colored Jasper? I feel like I do. Oh. So this is kind of their color scheme now. I went with the lighter hair because I don't know. I thought it looked cool. Yeah, so they didn't just kind of come out of nowheres. They've been around for a very long time. I just haven't like worked with them for a while. I kept scrapping them and their story because I didn't know where I was going with it, but I think we finally have a story. And again, it's always based off of what I'm interested in. So it's got a lot of like inspiration from Gachiaguta, Windbreaker, My Hero still a huge inspiration. Even some arcane stuff thrown in there. So it's like, it's kind of a mesh of everything that I really, really enjoy. And I think other people will hopefully enjoy. So I was going back and editing this video and I realized I never actually finished the video. It was supposed to be a lot longer and more vlog type, but I ended up just talking about my comic and cutting out a lot of things that was unrelated. So I'll do more vlog stuff in the future, but I thought it was a good kind of introduction to my story and the characters and showing you where they came from. I'll do a more proper like what this channel will be in another video, but I just wanted to close this off and say that that's the end of the video. If you want to read my comic, the link is in the bio. I have it currently posted in like 4 different places right now, just trying to see which area is the best place to post, because I know different sites are a little more finicky than others. So yeah, I hope you guys stick around. I have more stuff planned in the future, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!